One thing that is so evident when you go to these practices, whether as a fan, a member of the media, he's talking about like Fred Warner. And I talked a lot last year leading up into the season. Fred Warner at practice is out of control in a good way. His back and forth with Trey Lance, I thought was super compelling to watch. Just the two of them audibling or shifting or adjusting the offense and the defense, trying to play the chess match pre-snap with each other. And then after the ball snapped, obviously, Warner's flying all over the place trying to make plays, but he's always in the mix with guys. You just notice right away when you're out there, they've got so many high-level players. Like, they've done such a great job building a ridiculous roster. Debo's a high-level player. And not the greatest practice player, but a high-level stud that you unleash on game day. Brandon Ayuk, a tactician. Trent Williams, a monster. Aaron Banks looked good in practice. Burford is huge. George Kittle is like a Porsche. I mean, he's pristine. This is how fast he is compared to some of the guys his height and size. I can't wait to see Christian McCaffrey. You flip it to the other side of the defense. You got Bosa, who is chiseled out of granite. Can't wait to see Javon Hargraves this year. Armstead's humongous. Fred Warner flying around. Greenlaw so fast. They've just got studs everywhere. And when you're watching the drills, you're like, they execute at such a high level. I think it's incredible to watch.
Trey Lance talked after practice, and he was talking about coming into the season and his finger injury and the mechanics and what he learned from Mahomes. So I want to go through some of that sound here. Here's the first one with coming into the season with Brock as the QB1.
That's the same thing I told you guys last year at the end of the year. My opportunity is just to come in and compete, and that's all I wanted. So for me, I don't want to take anything away from Brock, and no one should be able to take anything away from Brock. He did what he did last year, and he deserves all the credit in the world for it. Like I said, for me, I just wanted an opportunity to compete.
Opportunity to compete, and he's going to get that opportunity to compete against Sam Darnold right now and in training camp.
I feel like he's handling this really well. The bounce in his voice there, like that's exactly the way he should be looking at things right now. And it also feels like a guy who's got some confidence as well. Like humility, confidence, awareness.
He's a classy young man.
Yeah, man, I really like the way he's sounding there.
Here's Trey Lance on the broken finger and how it impacted his mechanics from his rookie season.
My rookie year was definitely the hardest just because I couldn't straighten it. It was my pointer finger, and I couldn't straighten it after that third preseason game when it happened. But coming through my rookie year and finishing that, like I said, my goal that offseason was just to get as healthy as possible. First and foremost, just be able to get my finger as straight as I can. And felt like I got close to that point, but spent a lot more time, rehabbing that and trying to figure that out and relearn, my grip and throwing and everything like that than I did versus this offseason being able to focus on the things that I need to focus on.
All right, here's Trey Lance on what he learned from Patrick Mahomes this past offseason.
Being able to be around Pat was awesome. Just pick his brain, learn about just the type of guy he is, how he spends his free time off-season, and then more about his in-season schedule as well.
And then, of course, all the trade rumors that were swirling, and they're still swirling right now.
No, not at all. I knew where I wanted to be. Even going back, like I said last year, I just want an opportunity to compete. For me, I love it here. I love the coaching staff. I love working with Greasy and Clay and now Clint as well. Love the quarterback room. Love the guys in the locker room. No doubt for me, this is absolutely where I want to be.
This is where I want to be. There's an 8 Dog song there. This is where I want to be.
Riding with my friend. Did we underestimate the finger injury?
I think we did.
I know I
think we did.
I mean, the fact that he said he couldn't straighten it, it feels like a very underreported thing.
Yep.
I don't think it's excuse making. I think it's explanation.
I got sidetracked because this has been popping in my phone
all
day. Moses Moody unfollowing the Golden State Warriors on Instagram.
Who tracks these things?
Obviously somebody. I don't know what it means. Wow. I don't know. Players do it all the time. They do it all the time. But the finger injury.
I gotta go.
I think the thing about the finger injury.
That's such a great drop.
It is a really good drop. The thing about the finger injury is Shanahan tipped his head. Or actually, he revealed something last year.
He tipped his finger?
He didn't tip his finger, but he revealed something, maybe with his finger or pointing. Like, hey, I'm going to reveal to you guys that there was at one point a competition in training camp during Trey Lance's rookie year. Kyle Shanahan admitted that. There was a little bit of a competition. And the finger injury, remember that last preseason game against the Raiders? Jimmy and Trey Lance were alternating plays with the ones. Trey was coming in, Jimmy was coming in, Trey was coming back in, Jimmy was coming in. Were you at that game?
No. I was in Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Celebrating because of COVID, we had to push it back, my 10-year anniversary.
All right, there you go. Probably a good.
But I remember watching that game in Santa Barbara, frustrated because of the streaming stuff. It's a long story, but yes, I remember.
So they were alternating on that first series.
I bet it was around August 20th of 2021.
Maybe.
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, I hope you remember your anniversary date. That wouldn't be good.
Well, my anniversary is August 21st.
Well, there you go.
And I did that on purpose to avoid week 1.
Does anyone really have a choice?
Nope. And I'm so glad we did.
So you get that, and the finger injury happens, and Trey Lance obviously could practice for about a week, and then he comes in, he throws the first touchdown pass of the season. Maybe we did underestimate that finger injury. They also suffered a knee injury against Arizona in his first career start. So we don't give him the benefit of the doubt. I know he got hurt last year, and he was running the ball. So there it is. All we know is this. This feels like a make it or break it season with Trey Lance with the 49ers.
As in, like, he won't be employed by the 49ers?
Well, they had that fifth-year option that they're going to have to decide on.
It doesn't mean they can't re-sign him. I mean...
But would he want to re-sign here if Brock Purdy's here?
Haven't we learned the lesson? Bonte, how many times did you think Alex Smith was done with the Niners?
I don't think Trey Lance is done.
How many times did we think Jimmy Garoppolo was done with the 49ers? Anybody who speaks in clear certainty, one way or other, regarding any quarterback thing with the 49ers... They're snitching on themselves. They're telling me they don't know what they're even talking about. None of us know. Literally none of us know. I don't even know if Shanahan knows what he wants, what he's looking for. And I love Shanahan. But clearly, he's got a blind spot when it comes to these quarterback things. Like, I don't even... Dude, if you told me Trey made the team, started as the backup, someone went down, he went in, he played well, I'd believe that. If you said he didn't play at all this year, I'd believe that. I'll believe anything.
If Trey's not good for the Niners this year, I don't think he's back. I would just say that. I'm going to have an opinion on it.
How many times did you think Jimmy was gone?
I thought he was gone last year.
No, but how many times do you think? 3 or 4?
But he actually played.
No, I know, but how many times?
I thought he was gone I thought he was gone a long time. I thought he was gone last year.
I thought he was gone after the Super Bowl.
He came back.
I thought he was gone.
I didn't think he was gone after the Super Bowl.
After 2020?
After the Super Bowl, I didn't think he was gone.
Okay, well, I did. After 2020, I thought he was gone.
I didn't think he was gone after
the
2020.
High ankle sprain injury?
Yeah, I didn't think he was gone then.
When they moved to Arizona?
I didn't think it was gone.
After 2021?
Didn't think it was gone. Oh, last year. That's last year. Yeah. That's the one time I thought he was gone. But after 2019, I said, I didn't think he was gone. I didn't think he could leave. Oh. He had his first postseason run. You made the Super Bowl. Again, a lot of quarterbacks. We got the list of quarterbacks who struggled in their first few. I don't think Peyton Manning won a playoff game his first 6 times in the postseason, maybe 5 times, whatever it was. Ben Roethlisberger struggled his first few postseason runs. Struggles happen. But I didn't think Jimmy was gone until last year. I thought finally, okay, Jimmy's gone. Shanahan said it. Jimmy was like, hey, it's been real, Niner fans. And next thing you know, we're doing an IG Live from the hot tub saying, why is Jimmy back?
How many first quarter snaps, not late game snaps, first quarter snaps, how many different quarterbacks will take first quarter snaps this year? If you were to set the over-under.
I think all 3 quarterbacks will take some snaps.
Yeah, I would go 2.5 over-under.
Can a quarterback stay healthy in San Francisco?
And I'd hammer the over.
Can a quarterback stay healthy? And is that an indictment on Shanahan that quarterbacks can't stay healthy? Or is it the offensive line? I don't. That's the sad part. Quarterbacks can't stay healthy.
Well, that too. I was also thinking about this because I think this is an angle, and we don't have to get into it very deep. But like everyone's like, Brock. And I saw Tim Kawakami wrote an article, you got to read between the lines, and Shanahan's saying it's Brock. Okay. Totally hear you. And yeah, I probably would do the same thing.
Well, the players are also saying it too.
Well, yeah, let's play this game. How many bad weeks, how many bad losses does Purdy have in terms of equity to keep Sam Darnold from coming off the bench, to keep Trey Lance from coming off the bench? Has he earned an entire year's worth of struggling?
I don't know.
Say hypothetically he comes back and they're 4-4 and he's nowhere near the guy that was.
Got to go back to the guys. If Trey started the first 5 weeks and they're 4-1, I can't go back to Purdy. I just roll with Trey.
Right
Isn't
now,
it like if you're the 49ers,
I feel like you got to play the hot hand regardless. But I hear you.
But if you're the 49ers,
Yeah.
and I get it, you're in the business of winning. But when you think about, and I know, look, we keep bringing up Clay's contract, and I don't like it. And I kind of don't like it when we bring up the trade, whatnot. It's over. It's done. But you made the trade, and you gave up the picks that you gave up to go get Trey Lance. But if you're the 49ers and you do all that, bless you, you do all that, man, don't the 49ers want Trey to take this job? Don't they want to say, boy, we made the right decision? Boy,
You talking about in like a perfect world?
Just period. Trey Lance, don't the 49ers, if you're Shanahan and Lynch, wouldn't you want Trey deep down inside?
You would think that because, then it justifies all the moves prior,
All the moves you
and
made.
the convictions,
Exactly.
and maybe the process wasn't perfect, but you got the results you were looking for. Yeah, I could see that.
Right.
But I also think at the end of the day, a lot of these organizations, like, did we win? Like, are we winning at the highest level? Is the number one thing. And were the decisions that we made along the way justifiable?
So you got to win. You haven't won anything yet. So I don't know. It just feels like if I was running the Niners, I'm like, I need this number 3 pick to pan out. I need it to pan. I need Trey Lance.
Well, Solomon
to
Thomas
really
didn't
play
pan
well.
out at all, and they still
then
had a
moved
lot
up.
of success.
Yeah, they did. You're able to overcome that. But how many years can you continue to overcome that?
Yeah.
Now we're down to Sam Darnold to Brock Purdy. You're relying on one who was the last pick of the NFL draft, and you're relying on another guy who's played for 5 seasons and has been a turnover machine. That's where we're at now. And again, it's year 7. And we still don't know who the quarterback is going to be for the foreseeable future.
We've compared Trey to the other quarterbacks taken in the top, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. Will we also do that with Brock Purdy, or is it house money because of where he was drafted? Like, is everything with Brock Purdy kind of house money, how you're viewing it?
It's a good question.
You get where I'm going?
No, it's a good question.
And I don't want to talk about him in the past form. I'm not trying to do that.
If he fizzles out,
it was you squeezed the lemon.
Yeah, you squeezed a little bit. But the way he played,
right?
The way that crowd popped,
Felt real.
the way people love Purdy,
Sure looked real.
I don't know if I could give that equity because now we've seen it.
So, because to me, all this draft talk and the stats, once you get selected and once you're on the team, the only thing that, it stings where you took someone in terms of value or what you've given up to get someone, but now you're just a player.
Yeah.
I've heard him say, we have 2 top 5 picks in Darnold and Trey Lance. Yeah, none of that matters. It did. Yes, that's where they were selected, and that's part of their resume, but that has zero input on where we're at right now. Are they good or not?
Spot winning, right? Let me ask you this, then. Forget all that.
Because they have a 3rd-round running back right now,
right.
Tyrion Davis-Price, who...
Right.
Does anyone care that Jordan Mason was an undrafted free agent? No.
Nobody cares.
Mason's the better football player up to this point.
By the way, the NBA just announced, Shams Charania sources, the NBA's competition committee is discussing potential of in-game penalty for flops that would result in technical foul free throw. Trial is possible at Summer League in July. Again, the NBA's competition committee is discussing potential in-game penalty for flops that will result in a technical free throw. So if you flop, you're going to get popped for it. I like that, actually.
You going to compare Jimmy G to Brock Purdy this year?
No, I'm not.
You think fans will?
Yeah. What Jimmy couldn't do. This is what Jimmy couldn't do. See, Brock could do this. Jimmy couldn't.
If Jimmy goes 4-1 with the Raiders to start the year,
that's,
and then the Niners go 2-2 or 2-3,
we're going to be looking at Jimmy G all the time. But I've moved on, man. I've moved on. It's about Trey, it's about Darnold, and it's about Brock. But my question is, are any of these 3 quarterbacks? Because we talk about the Warriors, and we've talked about them as this season has been a failure, right? 2nd round loss to the LA Lakers. Mm-hmm. The season was a failure.
Championship aspirations. Right? That's where we're at with the Niners.
So that's where we're at with the Niners, right?
The feel-goods of going to these NFC Championship games have now gotten to the point, and this is where Harbaugh was.
So let me ask you this.
3 NFC Championship appearances, and it was all right, but you now have to win the big one.
I don't think Kyle Shanahan's in that seat.
No, I'm saying the fan.
Right, the fan perspective.
We can't take any more heartbreak at the doorstep.
So let me ask this. Are any one of these 3 quarterbacks that the Niners have on a roster good enough to help you win a Super Bowl? If that's what it's about.
It's still TBD to me.